for me late at night when I'm asleep. When I'm asleep.
Alright, welcome to Audio Carnage Podcast. I'm here with Bret and also one of my close friends, Cody Cerna. So today, we normally do the episode after we do the filming, but we're going to film post because lessons and stuff like that. We've already talked about that on the podcast. So Bret, thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So first, let's jump in. We've already talked about it a little bit before we started, but how long have you been in the Denton area?
I moved up here in 2005 to go to UNT for music school. So
Did you graduate from UNT?
Yes, I got a Bachelor of Arts in Music.
Not an easy school.
Dude, it was fun.
Oh yeah, well
I learned a lot that I still use to this day. It's school.
Fair enough. So how long have you had this iteration of your project?
I've been the Bret Crow Show for about 7 years now, since 2013. Summer of 2013 is when I had gotten a loop pedal for the first time and started messing with it. And I was a part of a show called Open Stage, where I would go and play for about an hour and a half to open a variety show that we were putting on.
Where?
And in Plano.
Okay.
At the Celebration Station in Plano off of, what is that, Custer?
Okay.
Did that for about 3 years.
And when did you start playing in like the more Denton-centric?
I started, I had a band originally in 2008, me and my buddy Matt. He plays saxophone and keyboards with me in my current group, Puddentane. I met him through going to UNT. We had the same composition classes together. So we just started talking and jammed a couple of times after a while. And we started a band called With Gusto back in 2008. And we were around for about 3 years, like a sort of 6-person band, horns, regular guitars, and
That's cool.
It's like punk, like ska punk kind of music, but like a little different.
See, that's one of my favorite parts about Denton is the fact that they are not scared of the horns here.
Oh, no.
Like, brass instruments and woodwind instruments are welcome.
Dude, you have to embrace that stuff, otherwise you're going to sound like every other rock band that's coming out of Dallas or something like that.
What would you say some of your major influences is?
Mine are, I started listening to Weird Al a lot when I was 10, so I always list that in the top 5, and I'm very heavily influenced by Frank Zappa, Primus, Mr. Bungle, The Dead Milkmen, James Brown, The Residents, Faith No More. Lots of Mike Patton stuff, if you're familiar with Mike Patton.
Oh yeah, we definitely know Mike Patton in his household.
John Zorn, he's a composer. He's a jazz / like avant-garde composer. I'm really influenced by Stravinsky. I like his music. And the funky stuff, I just try to entertain and come up with stories. So
yeah, everybody who whenever I told like Carrick and and Joe and all my friends who know you that found out that you were going to come on the podcast, they all said that your show is very much an entertainment based show rather than just so much a musical performance. There's theatrics to it almost. Which I haven't actually gotten to see it yet, so this will be a fun experience. I'm looking forward to it. So other than Pudding, what other bands have you been in that worth noting?
For the last couple of years up until this year, I was in the Wee Beasties. I'm also in Star Party when that conglomerates and is a band. Right now it's like split apart, but it'll always come back together because it's one of those kind of things. And
is it Demar or Character that's in that?
Characters in the last incarnation.
Okay, which actually Character is. He might be trying to get that. It might be Star Party or it might be.
He has his own group. Yeah.
Well, but like I'm trying to get them booked, and he's having issues finding a date that works for all their members. But like I'm trying to get his full act on here because like nice. That whole like list of bands from the old Abbey set list is always a fun time. Like, if you wanted a good Sunday night, go out to Abbey, or the Wednesdays or the Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would you say the best concert that you've ever been to?
The last time I saw Primus was a really good concert.
Oh, where'd you see him?
I saw them at the Palladium, or the Southside Ballroom, I guess it is. It used to be the Palladium.
Who else was playing?
Mastodon opened.
Oh, I know the show you're talking about. I wanted to go.
That was a really
was that the one that they played Mastodon played Crack the Sky and it's in
Man, I'm not super familiar with the names of Mastodon songs.
So. they have a couple really good albums, and they played with Primus multiple times.
That whole tour, yeah, they're a great band. I'm not super familiar.
What's the best concert you've ever been to?
It's hard to pin down.
Like you didn't have.
I mean, right now I'm thinking a lot of Children of Bodom. That was a really good show, especially since recent.
Where was it?
It was with you. I think it was like
Mayhem Fest then. Yeah.
But I mean, seeing Killswitch Engage was fun, like years ago.
Yeah. It was like Mayhem Fest, like the second or third one. What was your favorite of all the local venues? Like local meaning it could be the DFW, Denton, like any of the North Texas area.
I really loved Backyard on Bell when it was still Backyard on Bell because of the variety of music that would perform there and the people, which was a really nice place to be.
Yeah,
it's really.
I only got to play there once, and it was wonderful. The crowd was great, but it stormed, and so we got shoved inside, and it was just like. I wanted to play on that big stage, have all that room to run around, playing in the outdoor nice air of Denton. And especially if you could land a date that's like around Arts and Jazz and stuff like that. Man,
absolutely.
Man,
that's good enough.
Rip Arts and Jazz. And I miss that so much.
Hopefully it'll come back.
No, I'm sure it will. It's just when who knows when, but it definitely will. Like. All Denton nights are itching for that.
I think I saw that they want to bring it back in like October for this coming year, perhaps.
I think planning is for fools right now.
Oh, okay.
Like, I think assuming that we're going to be able to do anything at any point in time until the mass rollouts of certain things, like it's just safer to just be like, you know what, let's worry about content. We'll worry about, let's just be the creators right now and then figure out what happens later. Because eventually it will come back full swing.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. I don't want to be the guys who are figuring out how that works.
Yeah.
What would you say your dream venue to play at would be? You usually get that reaction.
I would really like to play in... Gosh, what's around still?
Well, okay, this could be a alive or dead list.
Oh, okay.
Backstage.
Places in New York, like the Knitting Factory. That would be really cool.
I want to do Red Rocks.
Getting to do emos in Austin would be nice. Or even Southside Ballroom.
Southside Ballroom would be fun. I have a great memory of getting to go that on the that Southside sign. I went down to Dallas to hang out with one of my friends for the first time, like in Dallas, like as a like proper adult, like first time able to go buy alcohol on my own, kind of thing like that. And we went and we ended up hanging out on top of that Southside sign, and I was just in awe because one of my buddies had he had a loft right in that building. So they were allowed to go smoke up there.
Oh, nice.
It was just like, it was the view from Dallas and seeing like, because I've seen so many good shows at Southside Ballrooms. Okay. What would you say your favorite way to hype the crowd is?
I just try to go up there and be myself. Try to like...
Have that. I mean, you do have a very unique energy about you.
Just try to win them over with the music. I just get started and I just do my thing.
Fair
Hopefully I'll have a good time.
What's some of your favorite media to consume? Shows, movies, books?
I mainly watch a lot of like cartoons, like stuff that like SpongeBob is a big one. Lots of comedy stuff. I'm big on sketch comedy, so many of the old things, like we watch a lot of Saturday Night Live.
I know you said Impractical Jokers also earlier.
Impractical Jokers. We used to watch. I still have like the DVDs of Upright Citizens Brigade, Mr. Show, Kids in the Hall. Lots of South Park and The Simpsons. Lots of Family Guy. All that stuff.
What other jobs have you had other than being a musician?
After I graduated college, I went to work at Papa John's, and I did that as my day job for a while up until I moved over and was working in the kitchen at Two Charlie's for a year and a half. And then I have
Two Charlie's is a bar here in town.
Yes, it's in a bar in Denton, and I was a cook there. And then I started making music my whole life, or my career. I was like working and living on music, like just doing like hosting open mics and running gigs and booking shows and playing with my other original bands, and that was like what was coming in.
Oh yeah, and that's whenever it gets chaotic, hectic, but fun. What would you say your favorite song to perform is?
My favorite song to perform? Probably my superhero song, which I'll be playing tonight.
Yeah, I heard a brief section of it.
That one.
Yeah, no, it's really fun. I'd ask how did y'all meet, but
I was born in Houston, Texas in 1980.
That's actually a really good answer for that question. Do you have any like good gig memories? Just something that's just like stands out amongst all the driving and all the work that is putting on a good, the show wherever like playing in Austin, fun. That trip, difficult. Playing in Houston, fun. That trip, difficult.
Man, every gig that I have with my groups is always like a special, unique time. So I try to like cherish each of those because each of them is like really like we all get along like really well. So it's always like we try to work and just.
Well, like Pudentang's energy has always been just like. Get the fuck up and party with us.
Yeah.
We're
a party dance.
It's a very interesting experience coming from like because I had no concept of what y'all were before seeing y'all at Abbey like just as a concert goer, and it was like, okay, this is a band that knows how to get the crowd involved in their show. It knows how to get the energy up and knows how to have fun with it. Which the fun part is the real aspect, because if you're not having fun with your music, nobody's gonna give a damn about it.
That's a lot of the goal.
What was the first instrument you played?
Bass.
Bass?
I
like
started
bass guitar?
with bass guitar. Yes.
How old were you?
I was 14. I got it in the summer of beginning my 9th grade year in '98. And I started with a short scale, all black Hondo bass. It was like 19 frets.
Oh, wow.
My bass instructor who we bought it from, he, we walked in and I had like no musical background. Like my dad listens to a lot of my dad and my mom, they both listen to a lot of rock and roll and blues and stuff like that.
Like, what do you mean by rock and roll?
Like Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, lots of oldies.
Yeah. Okay.
Like 60s, 70s music.
Okay.
And we walked in and he was like doing some slapping riff, and like 2 lessons into that he showed me Sailing the Seas of Cheese by Primus, and then that's when I was like, I want to do that, because I thought all my friends before me, like, they got guitar, and my best friend at the time, he got drums. So there was no one playing bass, so I was like, I'm gonna play bass.
Well, also, I started as guitar and went to bass, but my dad was always a bassist, and so I always love the feeling of vibration under your toes when you're up on stage. Like, especially whenever it goes away, and you're like, oh yeah, boom, and then it hits. And like, bass is one of those things, like, so many people make bass jokes, but like, band is empty without it. It's it is just like, in a good bassist it brings a lot more to the music than people will give credit to, it seems like. Now, granted, you as a bassist, you hear a lot of bassist jokes. Just that is.
Oh, dude! If you don't have a foundation, you can't build a house.
Yeah. Now, also, like,
bass and drums have to lock in, like, to set the ground.
Also, in response to all the bassist jokes, like, the drummer and the bassist are the only one that ever have cars in the band. So, like the guitarist gets there because of the girlfriend.
Nice.
But all right. So, what was the first song that we're gonna hear?
This song will be...
No, the first one.
The first one I'm going to play is called The Boogeyman.
Boogeyman? Boogeyman?
The Boogeyman,
okay.
Yes. It came out of an improvisation that I was doing one night, and I liked the bass line, and I started singing like what became the words, and I just built that over like a few weeks of just going and playing it, like honing it in each time until I had like what is recorded on my album that I have.
Okay. And what is song 2 going to be?
Song 2 is going to be a cover. It's one of my favorite songs from The Residents called Hello Dolly. No, wait. What is that song? It's Hello Skinny. Excuse me. Take 2. The second song I'm going to play is by The Residents, and it's called Hello Skinny. It's one of my favorite Residents songs. If you don't know who The Residents are, they're like a weird... They started in like '69, but they're like an avant-garde but rock and roll band. Their main shtick is they, like, on everything that you'll find of them is like tuxedo suits, big eyeball with the hat.
Okay.
That's how, have you seen that? You know what I'm talking about? Primus covered a couple songs. That's how
But the imagery I've definitely seen.
They've been around.
I couldn't
ever.
pick a song I couldn't hum anything from it, but I've definitely seen that image.
This song that I'm playing is one of their more popular songs, and I just really love doing it with the looper. Like, it lends itself really well. It's
okay.
fun.
All right, so we will be right back, and then we will. And we're back. So we're still with Bret Crow, and that song was song number 2. What song?
Hello, Skinny.
Yeah. Okay. So you said that Weird Al is one of your influences.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say some of your favorite songs from him?
I really like a lot of his original music. Frank's 2000-inch TV. I think, and he does stylistic parodies. I like those a lot. Like One More Minute's like a doo-wop type song.
Yeah, he definitely takes every song that he does and does a different.
His excuse me, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
This
is about you, not me.
The song "Genius in France" off of Poodle Hat that came out in 2006 is like his like version of like Zappa music, and it's like so dead on. It's insane. Like the musicians that he has that play those songs are like top studio musicians. Like if you've never seen Weird Al live,
he's never been lacking on like technicality.
Oh, no.
Like it's always phenomenal.
Great. Like that's what's needed to be able to do like other people's songs but make them your own.
What's your favorite of his videos?
The videos, I really like the Flintstones song. You know, it was like yabba dabba yabba dabba dabba, where it's like the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Eat It's Still Always Gonna Be Mine. Eat It, too good.
Like a Surgeon.
Oh yeah.
And Gump. Gump is really Amish Paradise.
Yeah, Amish Paradise is really good. White and Nerdy. But one of my favorite stories about him, which may or may not be true, I just heard it on the internet, of course, but apparently he was still like early 90s, late 80s. He was coming up, but he had a bunch of hits and stuff like that. And apparently he goes into like a LA party, and he's kind of, at this point in time, he's still kind of like shy and not really thinking he's famous or anything. You hear somebody go, "Oh shit, it's Paul," or it's Weird Al. And he looks over, it's Paul fucking McCartney. Excuse me, Sir Paul fucking McCartney. That's a cool little story, especially for somebody who clearly is just having fun.
Absolutely.
Which that's a good philosophy to take with music, because if you're having fun, then it's easier to
absolutely,
much more honest. So you already told me about your dad playing bass.
No, my dad didn't.
No. Oh, what? I'm horribly forgetful. So what family members do you have that played instruments?
Oh, none of my family play.
Oh, okay. I thought whenever I asked about what was your first instrument, you said that somebody put you on.
Oh, I was saying my mom really liked the bass guitar.
So
that was helping me influence her to get me one.
Okay, no, that's good. But no family members. Did you? Who was your big influence personally that you knew?
My friends around me. They my buddy Patrick Smith. I knew him in junior high and high school. He was picking up guitar faster than any he was shredding Metallica solos and Pantera stuff, Dimebag solos, and he could play anything. So it was really inspirational to have someone that could do that kind of stuff. And then my other buddy, he started playing drums, and he was Metallica was, I was 13. And
how old are you now?
I'm 36 right now. And I'll be 37 in July. So I was 12 in 96. That was right around when the Load album came out. But I was 7 when Black album came out. So I grew up heavily influenced by metal stuff. My first albums that I had growing up were Tool, Korn, Marilyn Manson. I had that Antichrist Superstar cassette. And then some other comedy stuff. Lots Weird Al has been consistent since I was 10 years old. But I also had Adam Sandler.
That's the nice part about Weird Al is the fact that he's kid friendly, but he's also adult friendly.
Timeless.
Yeah.
Super inspirational.
He should be writing jokes for Disney. He's able to make jokes that are kid friendly and adult friendly. Oh man. What musicians do you admire?
Les Claypool. Frank Zappa is a very big inspiration just because of how prolific and like consistent of a writer and worker of music that he was. I also really like James Brown for that same thing. Like he did a lot of the writing for that stuff, but in like the directing way, but he had like his ideas.
Yeah. And
like his stage show presentation, performance, all that stuff. I'm really influenced by Typo Negative.
Ignore the resident dog, y'all all know Ace. But, what would you say the worst gig you've ever played is?
Maybe not the worst, but there were a lot of issues with it. Let's see.
Also, on the inverse, what's the best gig you've ever played? So you can think of both.
I don't ever have like there was like things with some gigs. The best gigs I played are with all of my friends. Like I don't.
Well, yeah, because then it's just hanging out with your friends,
Yeah.
and especially if there's a paycheck involved.
Mm-hmm. Specific places and stuff were all situational, so I just try to like enjoy the moments.
Yeah.
There's been lots of like really good shows with all the groups that I've been in. They've been really nice. So.
Do you prefer to write in the studio or in the room, like at the computer and create your riffs, or do you prefer just sitting there playing it out?
I usually, it really depends on the song, because I write a lot of the songs that I have for my stuff I've written on guitar, and the stuff that I write on bass is a lot different than the way I write on guitar, because I'm more like rock and roll when it comes to guitar. So I take it as like a more compositional point of view, and with my bass stuff, it's usually like on the funky side. It's just like different feels of how the music is with whichever instrument that I'm using.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Because I have all kinds of different like ways of doing stuff, because I'll either like...
So you play guitar for Poontang?
No, I play guitar like for myself,
okay,
in like whatever I'm writing.
Yeah, it's much easier to just write your own stuff. And if you have something you can't do, then you pull in all these crazy musician people that we all know, and have them come in and track. Like I love the fact that it basically within spitting distance there's studio musicians that it's like, all right, if you need a good quality track finished, here, perform this. Oh, I need a trumpeter. Oh, I need a guitar. So it's... I've said it many times. We are in a oasis of musicians. So at this point, what is our third song going to be?
Third song is going to be... It's a new song that I have about flat Earth. Just mainly about how the people feel about the people that say that. Just an observation kind of thing, from what I've seen. No specific feelings either way.
I have feelings either way.
It made a cool song. And that was born out of improv. So,
making a song that's fun and having fun with it isn't necessarily trying to make a song like you're trying to make a statement. Yeah.
Just felt sort of happened that way, and I've been sticking with it. It's a good...
as long as I'm looking forward to hearing these. So we will be right back, and...
leave the car there so everybody can see all the information that they want to share. Oh, they got it up there, yeah. So then they won't even think about it. People don't want to talk about it. They just want to live their lives and see that the guys that are living here didn't want to be all up in your places. They got the chairs and the things, and they know right there. They got the cars and houses that they all talk about. The people that are talking about the flat earth. They talk about the flat earth. See, I had a couple of friends and they walked up to them and they started talking to them. Got a lot of information exchanged, so they learned a lot about the things that, you know, the 200 proofs. Well, they're on YouTube, you can go and check it out. And all the things that you want to know about the society that all believes in the thing they call the flat earth. They talk about the flat earth. They talk about the flat. So they can share all the details about the flat earth. Gotta look up the 200 proofs that are on the YouTube to talk about the flat earth. Gotta know everything is coming down to the end, and that's what they wanna know all about. That's what they all wanna know about. They talk about the flat earth. They talk about the flat earth. They talk about the flat earth.
Alright, welcome back. That was Flat Earth by Bret Crow. And so, Bret, this is the point that we hand the platform to you. What kind of artist, like, what's some of the people that you want our viewers to check out? Like, the people that you want to shout out, things like that.
I'd like to shout out Ethan Bouchard and his band Strong Work. Those guys have been putting a lot of work into the singles that they're putting out right now. Also, I want to shout out Michael Zane Rosser at Miser Studios over there in Hickory Creek. He's been helping me record the album that me and my buddy Matt Cochran have been working on. The project is called The Time Knife, or Time Knife. You can find that on Facebook, facebook.com/TheTimeKnife. Also, I have my solo albums that I have out, so if you could check those out on Bandcamp and SoundCloud, that would be lovely. Time Knife is a new punk rock, sort of ska punk thing that has horns and synthesizers and lots of really good music within it, and I'm really excited to put that out. We've been working really hard. Michael Zane Rosser has been helping us with the sound production and recording and giving us some helpful sound recording ideas. He is the man. If you need your sound recorded, look up Miser Productions. He's awesome. Matthew Cochran, who has been working with me on the Time Knife album that we're about to put out. He is a super solid dude, and I really appreciate him. Shout out to you, Matt. Also, I want to shout out my girlfriend, Allie. She's an inspiration to me, and I love her very much. She's been very supportive in what I'm doing with my music, and I really appreciate her.
She's a musician also, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She does a lot of
she was in
art
Wee
stuff.
BC's. She was one of my contacts with Wee BC's, I believe. But irrelevant. But I don't think I've actually...
She makes a lot of resin jewelry and does some art and painting, and she also plays trumpet and sings.
I've known both you and her more from like y'all's online presence than actually of knowing either. I just see y'all's posts and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I've heard nothing but good things about like everybody y'all run with musically. Like this whole podcast basically goes off of like recommendation basis, and that's kind of how it's kind of like I'm excited to have Strong work on and everything. It's good to have like these badass musicians be like, hey, check out these people, check out these people. That's kind of how I'm just trying to move through each season. All right, so Bret, thank you so much for coming on. And guys, where can we find you one more time?
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all those main social platforms at The Bret Crow Show. All one word, at The Bret Crow Show.
Do you have any releases or anything coming out? Normally I'd ask if you have any gigs coming up, but we all know.
The Time Knife, that's the next album that I'm releasing. We should have it pretty soon, in the next month or two.
Ballpark on actual release date is a month or two?
Something like that. I'm not putting like an actual...
Yeah.
Just like, that's the goal.
Whenever it's finished, wherever we're happy. That's how we are.
We want it to sound and look the best that it possibly can.
Exactly. You can only release it once.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, thanks, Bret, and thank you for the viewers. We will be back, and now for the fun part.
Just a simple mild-mannered guy. my superhero powers upon you. Ding.